everyone, good morning. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Mubina Kapasi. Markets, well, we are in the red. The Nifty is still, of course, holding on above 11,600. But as you can see, we are losing a tad bit. Sensex losing around 127 odd points. And the mid and the small cap index, interestingly, are doing a bit better. In fact, the small cap index, the gains over there are accelerating. More than 1% of a surge seen. Mid cap index too gaining around 0.6%. But this show, of course, as you all know, is all about flagging of those individual movers and shakers. And to do that, we have with us from our research team, Vivek and Soumya. And on the technicals, we are joined by Himen Kapari of Chowdhry Securities. So good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for joining in. And of course, how can we not start off Market Fatafat with the big loser and the news maker of today? That is Infosys. Soumya, yet again, all of those corporate governance lapses are resurfacing after almost 4 to 5 odd years of quiet on that front. What is the latest?
Yeah, in fact, the latest is that the whistleblower has accused both the CEO and CEO of unethical practices to boost the short-term profits and the revenue. In fact, these group of whistleblowers who are employees of the company have said that the company did not have had in fact nil margins, and in fact they have been manipulating their accounts in order to boost the profits and the revenues in the short term. In fact, during the earlier part of the day, we had Nandan Nilekani who issued a statement saying that the complaints are dealt with in an objective manner. In fact, these complaints are largely with respect to CEOs' international travel to US and Mumbai, and in fact he said that both the CEO and CFO have been recused in order to have an independent probe which is not influenced by their involvement, and the audit committee has been retained, and Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas has been probed in to conduct the independent probe. Let's see what the development takes place. We'll keep you posted as of now, but the stock's definitely reacting to the negative news flow.
Well, earlier in the day, we also caught up with Trip Chowdhry of Global Equities Research. Listen in to what he had to say.
Conclusions about Infosys and its governance issues. What our research is showing is the business fundamentals for Infosys is solid. Their deal flow is good. So the underlying fundamentals are intact. The accounting rules for revenue recognition for almost every industry changes almost every other day. And when you think about Infosys, which has multiple services offering in multiple segments, in multiple geographies, with multiple different deal sizes, which accounting rule is right or which accounting rule is not relevant, it is anybody's guess. But end of the day, the investors have to focus on only two things. Are the underlying fundamentals for Infosys strong? Answer is yes. What is the uncertainty? Uncertainty is, will the revenues get recognized in this quarter or the next quarter or the quarter after that? This is a noise which has no relevance in the underlying fundamentals of Infosys.
All right, there you have it. That, of course, is some analysts we caught up with earlier in the day to talk about Infosys. Well, let's talk about results then, since we are in the thick of the earnings season. Ultratech has delivered its second quarter numbers yesterday. What exactly is it looking like? Well, an okay set, because we did have the revenues increasing very smartly, 9,129 crores. EBITDA margins as well expanded from 17.7% to 21.9%. Okay, I'm talking about Ultratech Cement. Don't go by the stock tag down there. And the profit after tax surged. There was a strong operational performance. Century is something, however, that part of the business did drag volumes lower. Yeah, there is also that capex of 940 crore rupees to sort of expand the premium product portfolio. So all in all, a decent set. But Ultratech Cement has come off quite a bit from the day's high. It is now just left with gains of around 0.2%. Okay, moving on, Himen, Asian Paints. The reason we want to flag this off is because we're awaiting the second quarter numbers today, and ahead of that, it's 1% gone. Anything that you would like to spot in terms of the way the stock is moving today?
Very good. Very good. Asian Paints, frankly speaking, has been an uptrend for the last 35 years. So, coming to a slightly shorter term view, moving up, the stock has resistance at 1825. We made multiple attempts, have never closed above it. It's slightly overbought. So I would suggest, I wouldn't like to second guess the results, but suggest some profit booking. Definitely not a short, because if it overcomes 1825, it's jumps up. If it doesn't, it will fall under its own weight and slip below 1750. So it's a catch-22 situation. I'd say book Fatafat.
Okay, it's losing around 1%, like I said, ahead of trade. And Vivek, RBL Bank, this one's certainly going to be a company to watch out for, not just because of the Q2 results, but because of all of those problems that this bank has faced in the last 2 to 3 odd weeks.
Absolutely right, Mubina. Mubina, two things to watch out for. Number one, the core numbers themselves. What analysts on the street are penciling in is quite a strong profitability growth. If you're talking about the NII, seen up almost 40%. Profitability is much lower this time around on account of heightened provisions, seen down almost 62% on a year-on-year basis. However, don't be surprised if credit growth slows down. Don't be surprised if the company is forced to make higher provisions this quarter. Some of the key accounts, which have actually kept the street estimates extremely muted as far as RBL Bank is concerned, especially some of the battery maker names, some of these names, and any commentary that the management provides on that. Remember, last time around the management commentary was quite muted. They'd actually cautioned the street as to the kind of asset quality deterioration that they had seen. This time around, it will be very interesting and very important to understand and see what the management is saying. And remember, this particular stock has seen quite a bit of a derating after last quarter's results.
Well, that it has, but 1.7% gone for RBL Bank. And Samia, HDFC Bank, how were the second quarter numbers? Stable as always?
In fact, yes, they were in line with our expectations. In fact, I'd say slightly better than what we were expecting. Both the NI and profit growth were strong and were as per in line with expectations, with very limited stress on the GNPAs, which saw an increase of over 6% on a sequential basis. So definitely a good set of numbers. Provisions rose both YOY and QOQ. In fact, there was very slight impact on the margins also, which dipped by over 10 basis points on a quarterly basis. So in overall, good set of numbers, strong set of numbers by HDFC Bank once again, and this heavyweight is definitely gaining close by 1.4%.
That it is. The stock price is 1.3% higher. But what's losing again big time is Tata Motors. Remember, we had seen a sharp surge come by last week in the stock price of this automaker after the Brexit deal had been agreed upon by EU and UK. But turns out that was just one part of the battle. The second part is getting the UK Parliament to ratify it come Saturday. That's the Saturday gone, and they have not done so. The Parliament has voted to withhold support on the Brexit deal. So once again, the deal has been thrown into a limbo. Now remember, the 31st October is the deadline. So it'll be once again to and fro for Boris Johnson to ensure that there's no sudden crashing out, that the Brexit does not get triggered without a deal, or it could be an absolutely chaotic situation. So he'll have to go back to the European Union, ask for an extension from that 31st October date. But the fact is that Boris Johnson has come closer than ever before to getting a soft Brexit done, but in getting a Brexit done. But yeah, the Parliament has been one major hurdle that even Theresa May has not been able to cross. So let's see how things shape up there. And Heyman, along with Tata Motors, we had seen this tremendous volatility come by even in a Motherson Sumi that does as well have its operations closely linked to Brexit. Anything that you would observe on the technicals?
The weekly picture is improving after a long time. So the medium-term outlook is turning just that bit positive. I would suggest hold with a stop loss of 99 for a target of 109. Currently, what we're witnessing is a retracement of the sharp opening we saw from 94 to 112 in just 7 or 8 trading sessions. The indicators also on the weekly chart are turning positive. So I would take this as profit booking and nothing.
Okay, hold call on this one. Quick look at the RWI small case, see what that is up to at this point of time as the markets see a bit of red on the screen after so many days of a nice rally. And the RWI small case is something that as well is showing a downtick, but to a larger extent. So we are below 550 and it's 1% of a downtick that's witnessed in the RWI small case. On that note, we'll take a very short break. Come right back as we'll continue the countdown. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now. Without any further ado, let's continue with our list of movers and shakers. Vivek, Avanti feeds again second quarter numbers, and look at the way the stock is reacting. Were the numbers that good?
Mubina, the main reason for the upsurge as far as Avanti Feeds is concerned is, as you rightly mentioned, spectacular set of numbers. We've actually seen revenue grow up quite significantly. Along with the revenue grow up, we've also seen the farm gate prices as far as the shrimp feeds are concerned also been quite good. And that is something that is further driving the positive momentum. When you're talking about the margins have gone up quite significantly, almost a 350 basis point jump up. And on the back of that, profitability too has gone up significantly. No wonder then, have a look at the stock up almost 10%. And it looks as though, the good times are here to stay, given the fact that this particular stock and commentary too have been quite strong.
All right. Well, another good set of numbers was delivered by Shree Cements, because that stock too is surging. And how, Soumya?
In fact, really strong show by Shree Cement on the revenue front. We saw a good growth of 8.4%, but what's really interesting is the massive jump in the profit line from 49 crores to 309 crore for this quarter, and this definitely is reflecting well in the margins as well, wherein this margin stood at 30% versus 20% on a YY basis. So definitely really good set of numbers on the operating matrix also. In fact, the board has also approved QIP of up to 3,000 crore rupees in order to fund in their inorganic growth plans and to fund mergers and acquisitions, and this definitely is reflecting really well on Shree Cement. In fact, the brokerages and the analysts have given a thumbs up to this one. CLSA has upgraded the stock from underperform to buy, and in fact, Morgan Stanley has also raised it to overweight stance from an equal weight stance. So definitely a very good show by Shree Cement, and this is reflective in the stock prices as well.
Okay, well, it's a trifecta of good numbers, because the third one is Piramal Enterprises. That one too is reacting to the second quarter numbers delivered by the company. And all across the board, you can see a decent uptick. You have a consolidated revenue that came in at 3,600 crore rupees. That's higher by 15%. Margins came in strong, 62.5% versus 52.6%. And that in turn trickled down in the bottom line as well, where the consolidated profit after tax came in at 554 crores versus 480 crores, 15% higher over there as well. So great going for Piramal Enterprises, stock higher by close to 10%. Well, moving away from numbers, Himen, today, of course, the IT pack is very, very weak, mainly on account of Infosys. Wipro, however, is really bucking the trend over there. Anything that you're observing here?
I'm thinking Mubina, Wipro many times moves counter to the IT move. So today, frankly speaking, isn't a big exception. We remain in a short-term uptrend and then medium-term uptrend. There is a hurdle at 254, which is why we sort of stagnated over here. But looking at the mechanical indicators and how the thing gets shaped up, we're quoting about the 55-day exponential moving average moving up. I think it should get taken out. I mean, we could see a further upside. Hold with the stop loss of 246, target of 258. I think the outperformance would continue.
All right, it's a whole call target at 258 for Wipro. Vivek, Shipping Corporation has been seeing a lot of pricing action of late. Today as well, it's higher by 14%.
Well, absolutely right. So, what is it that you look forward to? You're actually looking forward to, the bulk dry index carrier prices. And this is something that's been doing quite well as far as most of the shipping companies are concerned. This particular company actually has more VLCC shipping tankers than even GE Shipping or even any other listed player. And that is something that is actually aiding the profitability as well as margins of Shipping Corp. So, next quarter results, most likely this higher pricing that you're seeing across most of the shipping companies, that is something that is expected to sustain. Now, if you're talking about the VLCC rates, they're at a multi-quarter high, and which is why, more across the space, you're actually seeing shipping companies doing very well for themselves.
Okay, that is, of course, all about Shipping Corporation, 13% higher. Soumya, Bajaj Finance ahead of the numbers. What's it looking like for the stock?
Well, yet again, we are expecting Bajaj Finance to deliver a good set of numbers. Well, remember, this is one of the best placed company in the entire NBFC sector, and even though the entire sector is actually facing a tough quarter, this one's expected to report a NII growth of 34%. This is what 18-hour polls suggest, and in fact, the PAT is expected to grow at around 55% on a YOY basis. Despite the fact that this is a seasonally weak quarter, we still expect the AUM to grow somewhere around 36 to 38% on a YOY basis. So we expect good set of numbers from Bajaj Finance, which definitely is going to be, as like always, would just turn out to be good. That's what we're expecting. Let's see how they fare.
41.50 for Bajaj Finance ahead of the second quarter numbers. DCB, take a look at how that one's performed. We have a profit after tax that has grown. 91 crore rupees is where it has come in at. Now there has been a jump in the provision figure which has come in at 43 crores. Gross NPAs as well have risen from 1.96 to beyond 2%, and net NPA too has risen, but mind you that has stayed below 1%. So on the provision front, the asset quality has deteriorated, provisions have increased, but not to the extent that it has hampered the bottom line growth. That's DCB for you, down 3.5%. And Himen, BPCL, the sharp run-up in the stock continues. We are in fact near that 52-week high level for BPCL because of the entire divestment buzz. Anything that you're observing?
Yes, Mumina, I think I would be slightly cautious over here. Like I said, we've had a brilliant run-up. The stock looks set to enter a minor consolidation phase. Looks a bit stretched because there is some divergence. The stock has taken in a buy mode on the daily chart. The MACD still in a sell mode. So if it doesn't take out the earlier high in the next few trading sessions, I think it could start moving off. So a period of consolidation is envisaged. So I'd say book partial profit.
Okay, well, on that note, we are out of time. So Himen, Vivek and Soumya, thank you for joining us on Market Fatafat. We'll wrap it up. Coming up next is Markets at Noon.